I have an analogy of a little box that's inside a bigger box. I call it big box, little box. The analogy is that when I'm feeling negative, when I'm feeling low, I'm inside the little box and I become completely blind. My vision goes as far as the walls of the little box, and I can't see that there is a bigger box outside that little box where there is a greater reality. I can't see, while I'm in the little box, that I'm in a mode of suffering and I'm the one perpetuating the suffering. And all I need to do is see through the illusion. See through the walls of the little box and just know that there is a big box right there on the other side. And when I see through it, I step out of the little box and everything's amazing. The world is completely different. I now feel great. All my experiences go well. I'm confident. I feel valuable. And I look back at the little box and I can say, I understand that you want to cause a tantrum because you're in pain. But if I entertain your tantrum, then I'll only make things worse, because by entertaining the tantrum, I step back into the little box and I step back into the illusion and into suffering. And I forget. This video is for the moments where I forget, or if anyone else isn't able to clearly see through the walls of the little box into the greater reality that exists. Life is very different when you're on the outside. The subject is value, and I'm going to link up the ideas. I want to seek value. Value is frequency. I am value. How do those connect? This will make it very straightforward. I'll share a diagram. Here we have the two side-by-side comparisons. On the left, I seek to increase my value, that's at low frequency. On the right side, I realize my value, that's at high frequency. Be patient with me, this all makes sense. And this is potentially the thing that will click the understanding into place. In the lower frequency, we think to ourselves, I am not valuable. You will say, subconsciously in your mind you believe you are not valuable. You seek value through material possessions and status. And you seek for others to value you. You want their validation so that you can feel valuable. Your sense of value is dependent on the validation of others. You even go as far as to seek the possessions just so that other people can compliment you. Or so that other people can perceive you as valuable, so that you can perceive yourself as valuable. You do things to increase your value. Throughout your day, you're not doing things to enjoy them. You're not doing things for fun. You're not doing things because they are productive, unless they are things that you think will increase your value. You go about your day stressing, doing whatever task you think is necessary. No joy. Just a constant chase for value. You interact with others and you try to extract value from them. Your interactions seem meaningless unless there is an exchange of value where you are benefiting. And you seek to obtain value from those with higher frequency. You watch YouTubers, you watch streamers, you watch shows, you follow celebrities. These are all people who have a higher frequency, and while you watch them and for a moment you feel comfortable, what you're really doing is you're dwelling in their value and you're feeding off their frequency, which is by comparison, well, you're looking at them and saying they are valuable. And what you're doing when you call something else valuable is you extract the value from yourself and you assign it to something else. And you basically affirm a lack of value for yourself. Moving on to the valuable reality, the reality in which you see and realize your value and you actually understand how it works. While you're in the big box, you're outside the illusion, you get it. Here's how it goes. You say to yourself, I am valuable. You say, not only am I valuable, but I am value itself. There is no value that exists without me. I am the source of value because I am the avatar in this illusion. I'm the one wearing the headset. There is nothing outside of me. You say, I seek nothing. This is subconscious. I seek nothing. You understand that material circumstances are a byproduct of your sense of value. The circumstance does not bring you value. It does not give you value. You do not extract or receive value from any material circumstance. It is only there as a reflection of your own self-perception of value. And so you can experience a circumstance that is high value, and you can recognize that that isn't giving you value. You can recognize that that is only there to reflect the value that you can already see within yourself. And so you don't attach to it. The only person's perspective which matters in relation to your value is your own. You don't seek validation from this guy, that guy. You are your own validation. No opinion matters outside your own. Again, the further we get into this, the more that'll make sense. Because you may think that that doesn't make sense, that's superficial. What if everyone thinks I'm a piece? We'll get there. Your sense of value is dependent on your beliefs. Okay. You do things to express value in the form of joy, love, and excitement. You interact with others to share your value in the form of love, joy, and excitement. You don't do things or interact with people to extract value or to increase your value or to receive value. You do things and you interact with people to express and to share the value. What is that value? Its frequency of love, joy, and excitement. The last note there, my frequency is my value, your frequency is your value. When you're outside the illusion, when you can really see it clearly, you understand that value is just another way, it's just a material interpretation of frequency. That is all it is. We can now go back and I'll skim through it really quickly. Substituting the word value for frequency. I am frequency. I am frequency. It's very straightforward. You are frequency. You seek nothing. Material circumstances are a byproduct of your frequency. The only perspective which matters in relation to your frequency is your own. That is why this is the way it is. No other person can do or say anything that will impact your frequency unless it changes a perspective of your own. Unless it changes your perspective of yourself, sorry. Your sense of frequency, or you can just say, your frequency is dependent on your beliefs. Your beliefs are the background or the filter through which your energy goes. Your beliefs output your frequency. Or let's just say energy goes into your beliefs, and then outside of that comes the frequency. You do things to express your frequency in the form of joy, love, and excitement. Of course, when you're outside the illusion, your frequency is high. Your frequency is joy, love, and excitement. And you interact with people to share your frequency of love, joy, and excitement. You should get by now that the value is the product of frequency. Value is a material representation of frequency. Frequency is the only thing that matters. There is nothing outside frequency that matters when we are speaking of value. But not just value. Value is all-encompassing. It is everything. Frequency is everything. Everything is frequency. Now, whether you see the world this way or this way, whether you think the thing creates the feeling, you must obtain the thing so you can get the feeling, or whether you recognize that you must feel the feeling in order to obtain the thing. that determines basically, well, it corresponds with whether you're in the low frequency or the high frequency. When you're in the low frequency, you think that you need a thing to get the feeling. However, there is a trap on the higher frequency where even though you can feel the feeling and then you get the thing, if you were feeling the feeling so that you could get the thing, then you fall into a trap where you now associate the value with the thing because the feeling was only a means to an end. The feeling was a means to an end so you could get the thing, and now you think the thing will give you the feeling. No, no, no. You must feel the feeling, knowing that you will get the thing, but without any need for it. It's just a byproduct. The feeling is the end itself. The feeling is everything. The frequency is the beginning and the end. You want the thing that you think is valuable so that you can feel valuable. In fact, you must feel valuable first. You're already there. You're already at the end goal. Now, the way the world works is that you will then get the thing. But you must not be dependent on the thing for the value, for it is not the thing that gave you the value, it is yourself. You create the value through your frequency. Maintain a high frequency, your value is equivalent. Interacting with people. The degree to which someone gravitates towards you or is repelled by you corresponds with your frequency. How high or low are you on the spectrum of love and fear and hatred? I should have that diagram somewhere on this board. Are you down here in the frequency of shame and guilt? If so, you're going to repel everyone, and that of course is going to reinforce the shame and guilt. Are you up here in the state of acceptance, reason and love? If so, you're going to attract everyone, and that can feed or it can make you fall into a trap. If you start getting dependent on other people's reactions and approval of you, then you may start associating the feelings of love and acceptance with them, and you may give up your value and slip down this chart back into fear as you now crave the the confirmation of your value from others. You must create the frequency and sit in the frequency simply because that is what you prefer, not because you need anything. Something else to discuss is, well, how well things are going is basically dependent on what you prioritize. Are you prioritizing the material object that you think is a symbol of value? Or are you prioritizing the feeling itself, the frequency itself? Are you creating the frequency because that is the frequency you prefer to exist in? Or are you trying to create a frequency so that you can obtain something? The paradox of material pleasure and vibration is, as I explained, that if we create a feeling in order to obtain a thing, then we may start to depend on the thing in order to create the feeling, and in doing so, we lose the feeling, because the thing will never give us the feeling. The feeling will, however, always result in a thing. Every feeling, every vibration will reflect itself onto our material world. No matter what you're experiencing, it is a reflection of your vibration. If you want better circumstances, then that was already phrased wrong. If you want better circumstances, you're already prioritizing the wrong thing. If you want to feel better, that's the better way to frame it. If you want to feel better, increase your vibration. How do you increase your vibration? By digging through your beliefs and resolving them. Finding the negative beliefs that don't make any sense. Like all of this. The idea that you need other people's validation, that you need people to value you in order to value yourself, and that you need material possessions in order to be valuable. All of these beliefs don't work. They keep you in a low frequency. These beliefs do work. And when you feel better, you will experience all of it. You will experience all the value that you thought you wanted before. But when you're here, you recognize that you don't need those things. You're just happy feeling the high frequency. The last thing I have noted down is reacting to material. When you've managed to increase your frequency, let's say you are now operating at the frequency of love, and now you're getting some reflections. Things are changing. You're not necessarily doing anything because you don't need to do anything because you're not after anything. But you're just minding your business and people seem more loving towards you. People are reaching out to you. Things are going well. And you recognize it. Now, do you experience those things and get emotional and go, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't believe this is working. Are you feeling validated that what you've been doing is correct and it makes sense? Or do you see it and you're neutral because you know that this is just how it works? It's like a magic trick. If someone performs a magic trick in front of you and you know exactly how it works, you're going to pretty much have no reaction because there was no illusion. You didn't get lost in the trick. Whereas if you see a magic trick and you have no clue how it works, you lose your mind and you say, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? Did you expect it? Or did it validate you? That reaction basically determines, well, it corresponds, I would say, with whether you fall back into the trap or not. If you've increased your vibration and then you start reacting to the positive reflection that you're now creating, then in that reaction, you also attach, again over here, you attach your sense of that feeling to the reflection. Let's say you've been feeling love, and then now girls are reaching out to you. Now you start attaching the feeling of love to the girls that started reaching out to you, and as you do that, you expect this to get reinforced, but instead what happens is the opposite. The negative feeling, the loss of the feeling, is what you'll experience because now you're associating it with the thing instead of yourself. When you experience the reflection that you've created, be neutral. Say, as expected. That's how I operate. I operate on the frequency of love. Therefore I create love. It's what I expected. I expect nothing else. I didn't need it. I didn't ask for it. I'm not dependent on it. But it is what happened because it is the match of my vibration. And any experience is always going to be the match of my vibration. I'm using vibration and frequency interchangeably. I think that is clear enough for me to get out of the little box and hopefully for you to see through the illusion. I invite you to step into the big box and raise your frequency. Bye bye.